Hi, this is Paul. I wanted to do this. Normally, I don't, I'm a big Game of Thrones. And as I mentioned in my Blu-ray update I did yesterday, I wanted to watch uh, uh, season 6, episode 9 of Game of Thrones. I'm a big fan of that show. Love the show from the beginning. Episode 9, Battle of the Bastards, of course. Jon Snow and Sansa versus Ramsay Bolton, the bastard. I don't give a crap. You're a bastard. Still, Ramsay, you're still a bastard. I don't care. Anyway, this episode just blew my socks off. I have to say the battle sequences in this episode were epic. Kudos to the director, the editors, the actors, and the choreographer, the cinematographer, everything. Even the horses. I give the horses props as well. That was, I think, the most intense battle scene I ever saw. I think the most intense battle scene I ever saw, I think, was in Saving Private Ryan. That opening shot of that, with people getting picked off on the beach, left and right, was crazy. And I know 300 had some epic fight scenes and stuff. And I know Braveheart had some epic fight scenes as well. But I think this episode tops everything that I've ever seen. It's just absolutely epic in the fighting, the way it was put together, and it was just epic. And first of all, let's talk about the characters. Let's talk about something that happened at the beginning of the episode. Daenerys coming back, of course, to Meereen, and of course her breaking out with her dragons. The slave masters coming to her, the 3 slave masters coming to her, basically telling her, while the ships are while the city of Meereen is being fired upon, and the Sons of Harpy are killing people down, innocent people down below. She's basically telling her, we told you to give us our slaves back and to leave, and now we're going to kill your dragons and send you on your way. Basically, they're basically telling her, "F you, we're taking the city over and we're going to kill your dragons and F you." And basically, she comes out and says, "No, I came out here to discuss your terms of surrender." And with that, of course, Dragon comes down and she gets on him and she takes off. And of course, the other dragons come out from when Tyrion early in the season released them. They come out from underneath and they basically start paw brawling people. They don't paw brawl all the ships. They do paw brawl a couple of them just to make a point. And then, of course, the Sons of Harpy are down there killing innocent people. And of course, then comes the Dothraki. You see them charging, and they're they're gonna wipe the floor with, because there's thousands of them, and they're gonna wipe the floor with the Sons of Harpy, and that's gonna be over. And basically, you have that great moment where Grey Worm basically tells the Masters, "Listen, you pick one. I'm gonna kill one of you," and and then the other 2 Masters, they throw the one down and say, "No, you take him. He's different from us. He's not." And then Grey Worm just basically slices the other 2 guys' throats and leave the other guy alive to tell people. Just a total badass by Dan. Total badass. She was just a total badass in that moment where she just basically squashed that rebellion real quick. Okay, that's it. She just wiped out the Sons of Harpy get wiped out. The Masters. That's it. She just clean house, and that was just a beautiful thing to see. And of course, at the same time, Theon and his sister, they come and they, of course, they meet and they basically and agree to help her, give them her boats, and tell her about their uncle basically murdering their father, and basically saying we'll give you your ships and we pledge allegiance to you. And she says, "Okay, I'll take your ships and I'll go with you, but you got to stop killing." And they have a nice bonding moment and stuff, which was nice. But let's get to the Battle of the Bastards, which was great. First of all, they meet at a neutral field, where basically Ramsay Bolton is basically insulting Jon left and right, calling him bastard this, bastard that, bastard that, and saying this doesn't have to die. People don't have to die. Just surrender my bride to me and stuff, and I won't. He said I won't kill you for abandoning the wall and all this other crap. And basically, yeah. And I love the look that Sansa has on her face. She just has this cold look. She said, "You're going to die, Ramsay Bolton. Sleep well." And then she just rides off. And then Ramsay, I think the last thing Ramsay tells Jon is that my dogs haven't eaten for 7 days or something like that. He tells him some BS. Excuse me. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. It basically tells Jon Snow that my dogs haven't eaten for 7 days, and again trying to play mind games with Jon Snow. And then of course they still are undermanned. Ramsay has more men obviously, and Jon Snow and they're discussing strategy, and of course, Sansa's telling him he doesn't know anything, and he's basically, he's saying, "Listen, this is all I got. I got to make the strategy. This is all I have. I have to do this." And she's telling me, "Well, you don't know him." And Sansa, this part I was kind of a little mad at Sansa because I don't know if Jon Snow explained it to her. He's protected the wall. He's fought White Walkers. He's died and come back. Jon Snow has been through some stuff. I know Ramsay Bolton is a sick, sadistic son of a bitch, but Jon Snow has been through some stuff. Jon Snow is not a naive. Okay, Jon Snow knows the reality of what he's facing. Okay, and so I kind of, I felt. And plus, at this point, Sansa hasn't told him that she sent a letter to Littlefinger and to bring the Knights of the Vale in to help them. He doesn't know that, and Sansa really doesn't know if they're coming or not. Okay, so I did feel a little, said, Sansa, stop giving him attitude. Okay, he's trying to do the best that he can. Okay, to try to take their home back, and he's trying to make the best strategy, and this is all he has, so he's going to go for it. Okay, he's trying to do that. He can't, he feels that he can't wait. He has to strike now, because if he doesn't, what if Ramsay stays behind, in Winterfell? Okay, they'll never come out. So he feels I have to do this, of course, and he has to. He also wants to save Rickon as well, and their brother. So, and then the day of the battle, oh my God! And again, Ramsay Bolton is sick son of a bitch. Now, again, Sansa doesn't go obviously to the battle, and they all come out there, and they have the strategy to wait to let the Boltons come to them. But of course, Ramsay playing his mind games, sick sadistic mind games. He sends Rickon out. He brings him on a rope, and then you think maybe he has a knife with him. He's going to slice his throat, but no, he just unties him from the rope that he's tied to, and tells him, "Listen, we're going to play a game, little man, and you're going to run, basically run to your brother." Okay, and of course, when he's running to his brother, he's shooting arrows at him, and of course, he's missing on purpose. And of course, Jon Snow, and then of course, all plans go to hell because Jon Snow gets emotional because this is his little brother being, basically being hunted in front of him. And now I understand what Sansa was telling him not to lose, not to betray his emotions, but in this case, I understand strategy and stuff, but that's your little brother you haven't seen in years, and he's basically being hunted. You can't. I understand Jon Snow's reaction. That's not the perfect battle strategy. I know that, but that's his little brother, and your little brother is being hunted. So Jon Snow takes off on a horse to try to catch up to him before Ramsay kills him. And of course he doesn't get there in time. And Ramsay, of course, shoots him. And at first I thought that Ramsay was missing on purpose, and then that somebody else had shot him. But Ramsay is we know Ramsay's a good shot from before in earlier seasons. We've seen him hunt and stuff. So he's he's good with the arrow, the crossbow, and the bow and arrow. So he's good. So he was purposely missing. And at first I thought also that he was trying to wait until Jon got close enough and then try to shoot Jon Snow instead of Rickon. But no, he shoots Rickon, of course, to get Jon, to throw Jon off his game and make him go mental. And then there's that awesome scene where Jon is his brother dies, and he goes to him, and then you see the army, they start shooting the arrows, and Jon Snow is out there by himself, basically, with his sword, and he's holding it, and you see him like bring it, brother, come on, I got nothing to lose now. You kill my little, it's on, and he's literally out there by himself with the whole Bolton army charging towards him, and then of course his men start to, they screw the battle plan, and they start moving forward, and then of course, then it's on. The most epic battle ever. Just arrows being rained on people, horses crashing into people. There were several moments with Jon Snow, and it looked to me again like Jon Snow. There's a moment early in the episode too where Jon Snow tells the Red Queen, the Red Witch, "Don't bring me back. If I fall, don't bring me back." Okay, and she said, "Well, if the Lord of Light tells me to bring you back, I got to bring you back." But he's saying, "Don't do it." But anyway, but there's several sequences in this intense and super intense battles where Jon Snow is, he's slicing people up left and right, and it looks, the arrows are not touching him, and it looks like he's protected. I don't know, it gave that appearance like he was protected because he died before, like he was protected, that he's not destined to die again. It just seemed that way to me, watching it, just with the way he was slaughtering people left and right. And then there was a great sequence where basically Ramsay Bolton had a great plan where basically he the bodies of his. That's why he was shooting the arrows. He didn't care that his men died. He just wanted. They built basically a wall of dead bodies that people had to fight on top of, and then he had his men encircle the wall of dead bodies, and Jon's men, and basically with the long spears, and so basically they were trapped in there. And there's a great moment where you see Jon Snow. He's like trapped beneath, and it looks like he's almost like he's suffocating because all the dead bodies around and all the people fighting around him, and he looks like he's looking up. So you almost feel claustrophobic watching it and thinking that, oh my God, he's gonna drown in the bodies because there's just so many bodies around him, people falling left and right and fighting around him, and just he's like he's trapped there. And then there was a moment where Jon Snow's friend, I messed up his name, Thorin, I think I'm gonna mess. Then the redheaded guy with the beard, where it looks like for a moment that he's gonna die. He's fighting I forgot the family that betrayed the Starks. It's either the Umbers or the Karstacks. The lead guy that was with Ramsay, because he charges into the battle, and you see him and Thorin. They're battling left and right, and it looks like this Umber or Karstack are getting the better of him, and then he does a Rick Grimes move, and he just bites that guy's throat out, which was epic. I love that. He just rips the guy's throat out, and that was great. And then of course at the last minute when everybody's surrounded. Okay, here comes the Knights of the Vale and Sansa, and you see Littlefinger sitting on top, and see the Knights of the Vale come riding in, and they basically crush that circle, and then the tide is turned, and then of course at that point Ramsay says, "Oh crap," and then he starts to retreat, and then of course then you see the giant Jon and Thorin, they start chasing after Ramsay, which is great, and then they get back to the top, they run back to Winterfell. And Ramsay and them, they close the gates, and then all of a sudden you hear pounding on it, and then you notice the giant pounding on it to try it again, and then he eventually gets his way through, and but eventually he gets shot, he succumbs, he gets shot with so many arrows, he succumbs and dies, and then Jon Snow and all his men, they come in, and then now Ramsay wants to fight, he wants to fight, one-on-one, like Jon offered him a chance early in the episode to fight one-on-one, in which he turned down, obviously. And then, of course, he's firing the arrows at Jon. Jon Snow picks up a shield, and he blocks the arrows, and knocks the crap out of him. And then at that point, he starts pounding on him, which was just, I was loving every punch, pounding him. And then he stopped. I think he sensed Sansa was there, because Sansa was like off to his left. And so he stopped. And I think he stopped purposely because he wanted, he was going to, I think he would have killed him. He would have kept killing. He would have kept pounding, especially for Rickon. And everything else they've been through, what he did to Sansa, I think Sansa he probably would have beat him to death. But he stopped because Sansa was there, and I think because he purposely wanted Sansa to be the one to watch him die, or be the one to be the instrument of his final death, which she was. Okay, and which point, of course, you see Ramsay Bolton's in the kennels tied up, and then she comes in and basically she she tells him what he told Jon and them about the dogs not being fed for 7 days, and Ramsay Bolton's still arrogant to the last bit, saying, "Oh, these dogs are loyal to me. They're not gonna attack me." And then slowly but surely, you see the dogs come in, and then that one dog. Oh my God! First, I think he licks the blood off Ramsay's face, and then he just starts biting it, and then they start feeding on him. And I love Sansa just turns, she looks, then she turns around, and you see that big smile on her face. I think he said something to her like, "Oh, I'm always going to be a part of you," or something. Like, screw you. You're dead. You're dog food, okay? And you're going to soon to be dog shit, Ramsay, okay? So there you go, okay? You're done. And that was the perfect way for him to die. He got eaten by his own dogs, okay? So that was a beautiful, that was calmer, okay? And now I have to say a few other things. Grace Randolph, who I watch on Beyond the Trailer, great channel. I watch your channel all the time. Great work. But I watched your Game of Thrones recap, and I know you just came lately into the party with Game of Thrones because you did a marathon or something and caught up with it. You didn't watch it previously. Now, I just have to say, with her, Grace, I love you, and I know you had this whole woman power thing in this episode, which was in this episode with Sansa and Yara and Daenerys. But for you to purposely downgrade Jon Snow, you don't know what you're talking about, okay? You really don't. I know you watched the previous season, so, okay, let me just explain why you're extremely wrong, okay, about what you're saying about Jon Snow being not smart, okay? Jon Snow is smart, okay? Jon Snow held the wall, Okay, against the wildlings. He battled the White Walkers. Okay, he died and came back. Okay, and look what he did in this battle. I understand why you were a little pissed at him because he got emotional when he saw Rickon. And I know Sansa, basically, she said Rickon's dead, which she was right about. But I'm sorry, you know the way Jon Snow's character is. There's no way in the world he could have stood back and watched his baby brother running towards him and being shooten at with arrows. He's not if there's even a 1% chance that so like Batman, like Bruce Wayne is, even if there's a 1% chance, there's no way Jon Snow is gonna sit back there and watch his little brother get hunted, okay, and not try to rescue him in some way. There's just no way he could do that. Okay, if you know the character, Grace, you know there's no way Jon Snow could sit back and watch his brother basically be run down and shot with arrows. There's no way he could do that without, even though that was part of Ramsay's plan to get Jon Snow off his game and screw up his battle plan, which he did. But I still think, I thought for a minute that he was going to try to shoot Jon, wait for Jon to get close enough to Rickon and then shoot Jon, which I thought was the way to go. But no, he really did kill Rickon, and because he knew that would throw Jon off. But anyway, I can't fault Jon for that. Okay, I can't fault Jon for doing that, even though that screwed up their battle plan. I can't blame him because if you know how the character is, that's what he would do. He couldn't sit back, and I know I couldn't do that either. Even like I said, that 1% chance that you could save your brother, you're not going to stand there and watch him get shot full of arrows. If you can, even if there's a 1% chance that you could save him, there's no way you're going to sit back and do that. Okay, so I don't blame Jon Snow for that. So he's not dumb, Grace. Okay, he's not dumb at all. Okay, Jon Snow is one of the more smart and honorable guys in Westeros, not Westworld, in the whole Game of Thrones universe. Okay, and ultimately, what I think is going to happen is Jon Snow, he doesn't want to be king of the North. Okay, he doesn't want that. Okay, even though he has the loyalty, probably now he's going to have the loyalty. He'll let Sansa, even though I don't think he doesn't know Bran is still alive. Well, I think he does know that now. I think he does know it because Sansa was with Theon, and Theon told her that he didn't kill Bran and Rickon. So as far as he knows, he is out there somewhere. So I don't think Jon wants to be king of the. He'll probably tell Sansa, "You can be king of the North, queen of the North, and unless whenever you're married, unless Bran comes back and he wants it. I guess because he's a male son, even though he's kind of crippled. So I don't know how he would do it, but." He's still a male, so back in those times, they probably would, if Bran came back and made a claim, they'd probably give it to him. But I don't think Jon wants any of that. Jon Snow's goal, I think his next goal, is to stop the White Walkers that's coming, okay? Winter is coming, and the White Walkers are coming, and I think that's Jon's next goal. Once he settles with Sansa in Winterfell, and I think Jon may even, well, no, I think he's going to try to do the White Walkers thing. I think he's going to try to rally the people and say, listen, just get ready for the White Walkers. They're coming. Okay, they're coming. Okay, so we have to do that. I think that's what Jon's gonna that's what I think he's gonna do. I think he's gonna that's his goal, to do that. I think that's his next battle after he rests. I think he's gonna that's the next thing to do. I know he as a part of him probably wants to find his brother and his other brother and his other sister. But I think his immediate goal is to fight the White Walkers. And I think what will happen next season is I think he will meet up with Daenerys, because Daenerys is on her way, literally should be on her way at the end of next episode, on her way to the Westeros. And I think what I would love is for her to meet up with Jon Snow and stuff, and Jon Snow would tell her, listen, I don't care about the Seven Kingdoms, you can rule it all you want to, but the White Walker's death is coming, and the White Walkers are coming, and that's the goal, okay? And so either you help me or get out of my way, okay? You can have Westeros, but I'm trying to stop the whole world from dying, okay? And that's Jon's goal, okay? And I think, again, Jon Snow is secretly, well, I think this will be revealed next episode, I think, what his real parentage is, and I think he'll be either a cousin, if I'm right, to Daenerys, I think that's the right term. If not, it doesn't matter. But Jon Snow, his next goal is to stop the White Walkers, okay? Jon Snow, he's an honorable man, and I think that's his next goal. And I think the next person he should meet would be Daenerys. That would be cool. And I think ultimately, if he's not related to Daenerys, they could rule the Iron, even though Jon Snow is not he doesn't want to rule. Okay, I think that would be cool, though, or at least get Stanny's help in defeating the White Walkers. I think that would be great. But anyway, I just wanted to mention that, that's my this episode was epic. It's a classic, and definitely I recommend anybody that hasn't watched it watch it. But if you're watching this video, you probably watch it because this has spoilers all over it. But that was an epic. I can't even say much more about it. That was just epic on top of epic. And I just wanted to make that point to again. I love Grace's channel, Beyond the Trailer, Movie Math, but she was just so wrong about saying Jon Snow is dumb. And come on, okay, don't. That's as I say, that makes no sense. And okay, I'm gonna reply to her video too, and just tell her, listen, same thing I think wrote in this video. You don't know Jon Snow, okay? And you're gonna try to say Jon Snow is stupid and emotional. Of course he was stupid and emotional. I was his brother in front of him dying. And even Sansa, I think, who even said that Rickon was dead, okay, which was realistic and practical. But I think even if she was out there, there's no way in the world she could have stood there and watched her brother get chased down and shot with an arrow, okay? She couldn't stomach that, and I don't expect Jon to sit there and stomach that. His little brother getting hunted down in front of him. Okay, come on. And I know that threw the plan off, but I can't blame Jon Snow for that. I can't, because come on, that's your brother. That's your little brother. You haven't seen in years, and he's there in front of you, running for his life, scared to death. And come on, even if, like I say, you get that 1% chance to save him, take it. I can't blame him. I can't fault him for that. And you know who I really blame for Rickon's death? I blame Bran. You know why I blame Bran? Because he's the one that split them up. Okay, they were together. Okay, and then they met those two people that said he has to go to this mission. He should have took Rickon with him. Okay, he should have never separated from Rickon. So I blame Bran, and I want Bran to feel extra crappy when he finally reunites with Sansa and Jon and Arya, when he finds out Rickon's dead and how he died. Okay, because if you would have never split them up, if you would have let them go with you, I definitely believe Rickon would be alive today. So I blame Bran for Rickon's death. Okay, I just want to say that. Anyway, this is a long video, but I want to get all my points out about this epic episode. Anyway, let me know what you think of this epic episode. One of the best battle scene I've ever seen that was ever filmed. I love the shot of Jon. Again, I love that shot. They should make it a poster. Jon was just standing out in the middle field by himself with a sword. He dropped his belt and had his sword and his weight, and the men were just charging him. And he was like, "Come on, bro. Come at me, bro. I'm ready. This is how I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go out. I'm taking a bunch of you mother effers with me." And he was just, oh, I love that. That was just epic. Total badass. Kit Harington, you the man. Okay. And I love Sansa in this episode as well. I thought she was a total badass, riding in there and sitting on top of the hill, observing as the Knights of the Vale just crushed Ramsay army, and Ramsay ran like a little baby. Okay, so she was badass too, and it was strong women characters in this episode. But I still think that the Battle of the Bastards was epic, one of the best battle sequences I've ever seen. Anyway, let me know what you think of the Battle of the Bastards. What do you think of it? Feel free to leave comments down below, and if you like this review, please hit the subscribe button down below. This is Paul saying so long and take care.